I got my girl here with me, Miss Ardre Orie here, and we are bringing all the juicy stuff. We talking about her amazing company, publishing company, author, philanthropist. Y'all stay tuned. SheThoro.com. Hey guys, LaToya, and I have my girl here. How are you, Ardre? Like, we've been trying to do this interview for so long. Thank you for accepting this interview.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So for the people that don't know you, tell us a little bit about, what you do and who you are.
Sure. My name is Ardre Orie. I am the queen of storytelling. And I'm the CEO of 13th and Joan Publishing, as well as a celebrity ghostwriter. And most importantly, I tell the stories of our souls.
That's so dope. So talk to me a little bit about this publishing company. Like, how did you get into this? Did you study journalism in school? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Sure. So oddly enough, at the age of 10, I wrote and published my first book.
Wow.
And at that time, I put together a book signing. I invited the media out, and I made money from selling my book. So it taught me that money could be made from stories, number one. And it also taught me that, people would come together in the name of a good story. So a seed was planted within me at that time. I went to school for education, and I want to say almost 30 years later, I revisited my love for storytelling. I was asked to write a book for a client for VH1. And once I was extended that opportunity, I learned that I was then in the realm of possibility for being a ghostwriter. And so I became a ghostwriter, and the opportunity just kept coming. VH1, MTV, BET, Centric, we have Grammy Award winning artists, athletes. And so I was just really excited to have, discovered purpose. But telling stories is always what I wanted to do. And I just left that purpose, and now I'm back and loving every minute of it.
That's amazing. Your energy is so phenomenal. And so for those that's watching that may not know exactly what a ghostwriter is, tell us a little bit about that. So are you writing the stories for the entertainers and people that we see on the forefront? You're telling their autobiography. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So a lot of the books that you read aren't written by the people whose faces you see. A lot of people don't have time to just sit down and, pen their book. So I am writing stories for a lot of the faces that are out there. But most importantly, it's just like we're talking. I have a background. I grew up in a home with a guidance counselor. My mother was a guidance counselor. So she taught me to listen more than I spoke. And so listening really helps you to understand the heart of what, someone is saying. And a lot of times I find that people say certain words, but you have to understand what their soul is actually speaking, and that goes much deeper. So that's what I write, and I think that's what sets me apart from other storytellers, is I'm really listening to the soul of the person and what it is that they want to communicate. And that's why a lot of my clients are like, wow, that's exactly what I was feeling.
But I didn't know how to say it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. I have a process, and I want to say in 2018 I wrote about 15 books for other people, and that was a joy. And we also coached 50 authors through the process of writing their books, and I wrote one screenplay. So 2018 was busy, and 2019 is no different. We're in the works of doing the same thing, continuing to get people's stories out.
Amazing. Are you able to share, I know the word ghostwriter, but are you able to share some of the clients that you've worked with?
Yes, so one thing that's funny that has been happening, two of the clients that I wrote for last year were like, you know what, this is so amazing. I think I just want to share who wrote my, I want to share. And I was like, okay. You guys are probably familiar with Lionel Richie. He was a part of a group called the Commodores. And so the founder of that group, his name is Thomas McClary, he actually decided to put my name as a co-author on his book, which was so dope because his book spanned over 60 years. It was through the civil rights movement all the way to present day. So he was one. But most recently, if you guys are familiar with BET, there's a gentleman by the name of Donnie Simpson. And Donnie Simpson had a show called Video Soul, which was like the place that broke every single artist, video, everything. So on social media, Donnie announced his book by saying, and Ardre Orie is my ghostwriter. And I was like, what? So it was a good thing for me, but Donnie definitely told that story. So those are two clients who they told it and I didn't have to.
That's amazing. Have you ever come into a space where you wanted to get on the forefront? Like, you've been playing the background for so long, and did you ever come into this space where it's like, okay, I'm ready to kind of share maybe my own story, or I'm kind of tired of playing this whole ghostwriter thing?
So I love ghostwriting. The thing that it allows me to do is we work with our authors from so many different parts of branding, down to like what their book cover is going to look like. I'm the creative director for a lot of their photo shoots. We assist with a lot of the branding, and giving them strategies for what we want their brand to look like before their book launches. So I love that. However, I have so many stories inside, and I'm jotting them down. I think I have about 10 to 12 books that I want to write. Have I had a chance to do it? Absolutely not.
No, of course not.
But I'm definitely dreaming of those books. So maybe I'll have to hire a ghostwriter for me. Somebody can write my stories. But I do have books inside, and I can't wait to get them out. Books that I want to turn into TV series, movies, all those things. So we'll see what the future holds.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about, this young black girl from Gainesville, Florida, up and coming. We in Women History. This is Women History Month, right?
Sure.
Taking in all these stories. So you're like a sponge. So who do Ardre go to kind of,
That's such a good question, and it's amazing. You think about energy exchanges, and there's a vibration right now. I'm so into like energy, good energy, bad energy, all that, and that is something that I'm actually working on, because I didn't realize, and I've been talking to my team, I didn't realize how much when you own other people's things, you've got to have a way to have, a way to get it all out. And so I've just been owning to the point where sometimes it physically makes me sick, because I'm taking on everybody's energy. I'm taking on all of their, things that they're going through. And people don't realize, when you think about writing a book, you're like, yeah, that's amazing. It's a very emotional process. We're breaking through a lot of layers. People don't realize when they're done, there is almost this, it's a sense of like detachment. Because when they're, giving their stories to me, we've been communicating back and forth for so long, and then it's like, okay, well now, are we going to talk every day? I have some clients who are like, I'm going to write another book just because I need to talk. So I'm really working on making sure that I maintain health, making sure that I maintain balance. I have an amazing husband. I've been married. September will be 16 years.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you. And amazing family, yes. Son and 2 daughters. But I try not to transfer it to them. I'll share certain things, but not very much, because a lot of it's confidential as well. So I've been internalizing a lot of it, and that's something, I share that transparently, because I want people to understand you can't own everybody's energy. You have to learn how to expunge that. So that's a very good question.
Mental health is real.
It's real.
And, like you said, those energies, and it's so funny that, you're speaking it, but, like your mom being a counselor, but you in a sense are a counselor. Like you are a counselor.
I'm telling you.
It's deep.
That's actually the feedback. A lot of my clients say this feels like therapy. So I wasn't really taking ownership of that concept, but I am now, because I'm starting to understand how me owning it all is weight. And you have to manage that.
Well, you look great. You look great. So like I mentioned before, it's Women History Month. What do that mean to you?
I believe that I make history today. Girl,
I got vibes just all throughout this whole interview. It's just giving me so much vibes. But go ahead. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
no, I believe that's, I was having meetings today, and I was explaining to potential clients, we're not just here to have a service, to provide a service. We're here to make history. And if I don't feel like something is groundbreaking, I'm really not interested in it. I'm not trying to do whatever is already being done. I'm trying to do something historic every single day. So for me, women's history means, living in the moment and doing something that is not there.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that it's never been done before, but doing something that you see a need for, doing something that's groundbreaking, making the difference in the lives of others. But I believe I make history today.
Yes, I love that. I love that. So Audrey, what advice would you give an aspiring writer?
Number one, to write. Okay, because you can't do anything with a blank page.
Right.
I would say you can compromise 5 minutes from social media to write 5 sentences. Okay, 5 sentences will start you a paragraph. And so I think that we have to get away from using the excuse that we don't have time. We make time for whatever. So if you have to cut your shade room time in half to be able to get you some paragraphs down, then do it. But most importantly, write whatever comes to mind. You will be surprised at what we call a brain dump, but your fresh thoughts, like in the morning, there's a lot of great content that comes from that. You can use your phone, the notes app on your phone. You can write wherever you are. I write on everything. My family, they're like, please
I was
stop
just about
writing
to
on
ask,
all
were you a
that
note taker? Because I have like those books at Marshall's. I love those little
Right. Those little
self-help
journals.
books. The journals, I
Yes.
love them.
Write everywhere. So that's number one, definitely write. Number 2, publish your work. Find a way to publish your work. Once you do it, not only will you see that it's possible, but you also just created a stream of residual income. For me, my book was the best business card ever. I went to, this was an event in Miami, and there was a lady, she was a part of a local radio station there. I wanted to interact with her. Had I given her a business card, I know she probably would have thrown it away like with the rest of them. A year later, she contacted me and we worked together, but I had given her a copy of my book. The book shows that you can, set a goal, you can accomplish it, and it makes you an expert in whatever it is that you're talking about, even if it's your own life and mastering, the things that you've been through. Last but not least, it gives you something to sell. Stop going places with nothing to sell. And you're wondering why you're coming home empty-handed. You cannot make money from a handshake. So have a product. Whether it's your story, somebody else's story, you want to write about the trees outside, you want to write some poetry, whatever it is, monetize what it is that you're saying. Stop talking and turn that into a way to make some profit. So that's what I have to say about writing. Everybody should be doing it.
I love it. You've been around a lot of old souls because you be dropping jewels, girl. I'll be catching them too. I be like, that was for me.
Yes.
So what's next for you, sis?
So in the spirit of making history, one of the things that I've seen in this publishing space, right? So you look at who's publishing. I see so many black women. We have black women galore publishing their books. And we have women of all colors, but black women killing it, right? Where are the black men? So I was like, wow, if we publish, in a month, if we're cranking out 15 titles, 15 are for black women. Where are the black men? That was concerning to me. I want to make sure that black men's stories are told. I want to make sure that those are not left behind and that we understand what our truths are from all perspectives. So I launched a program in February called 100 Seeds of Promise. This was our company's dedication to creating 100 black men as authors. We launched the application process in February, and then at the close of February, we had over 100.
That's amazing.
So today we met with a few of them who are here on the ground in Atlanta. They're all over. We have some who are international, and those men are now in the process of becoming authors. So that's what's next.
Kudos to you.
Yes, very excited. But that's a roll up your sleeves and get to work kind of thing. 100 people is not, I don't take it lightly, but it needs to be done.
Yeah, and you're doing it, and you're getting the work done, and I love that. And one of the reasons why I really wanted to do this interview with you is just because, it's just so much pressure right now with social media. And, you go to your page and you see, Ghostwriter for VH1, BET, and you just have that stigma associated with these networks, right? And to see someone that is on in the forefront and just trying to make a difference, and it's just not your typical, oh yeah, right, for this show, or I'm in this reality space where I'm contributing to whatever negative things that people associate these networks with. But you are literally out there and you're doing it. And you are, like you said, making history today. I love that.
Thank you.
I wish you so much success. If there's anything I could do, let me know.
You already have, by allowing me to share my story.
Yes. We can't wait for your books. So tell people where they can find you on social media, all the great things, all that good stuff.
Absolutely. So you can follow me at I am Ardre Orie, ARDREORIE. That's all social media. That's my website as well. And then the company is 13th and Joan, 13th and Joan, all social media and our website.
Yes, y'all. Please check her out. I do have one final question. So I run into a lot of people that want to write books.
Sure.
Now, your publishing company, is it open to, they basically just sign up, they get a consultation, and you are open to working with anyone?
Right. Honestly, we are. We're not rejecting people. We want to really see people's stories, see the light of day. There's so many publishing companies and in the industry who reject, and say, okay, this is not good enough.
Right.
What we found, though, is that people are saying that there's not a market for the content when really there is. And so we want to make sure that we open up the market, and because every face has a story. We really believe that every story, there's a place for it. It just depends on, finding the right audience and making sure you have those people who want to read it. But absolutely, we have complimentary consultations because we want to see people, get their stories out.
You better come on complimentary. Anything complimentary sounds good to me. Well, guys, this is not the end of me and Ardre's relationship. Trust me, you're going to see more things coming. Stay tuned. Follow my sis. Great things to come. She talks.